The Chicago Bears officially get screwed over by the NFL, and we got to talk about either how the NFL needs to adjust the rule, change the rule, or add some clarity to it overall. All that and more coming up next. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. So we finally get the official word that Ian Cunningham being hired by the Falcons will not net the Chicago Bears 2 third-round picks, as the Rooney Rule explicitly says in it. This is from Pro Football Talk that dropped this. Said regarding the Falcons hire of the former president and assistant GM Ian Cunningham to be the successor to Terry Fontenot, the NFL decided that Cunningham will not be the primary football executive, which prevented the Bears from getting a pair of third-round picks under the provision in the Rooney Rule that rewards teams for developing minority employees who secure promotions. What the NFL essentially told PFT on Tuesday via email was the policy for receiving picks pertains to head coach or the primary football executive. And the fact that Matt Ryan is the primary football executive is the reason that the Chicago Bears will not receive these picks moving forward. Now, here's the problem with that, right? Because it's not like you have to look very far to see a situation where this came up and the team previously was awarded the picks. And on top of this, right, the fact that Matt Ryan basically went around all last week and verbatim said he is in charge of the football operations space. He is driving that boat. He's the one leading us forward. It's Ian's regular season right now, and he's in it. He's the one driving the ship. So explicitly saying that, hey, I'm not over any of it. Don't look to me. I'm the one that's going to guide kind of the entire organization into a new direction. But Ian Cunningham is building this football team, putting this football team on the field, and it's going to be his football team that you see out there next season, which is a problem because, again, like I said, this should mean that the Chicago Bears are receiving 2 compensatory picks, especially in a situation where Terry Fontenot, who the Falcons hired to be their GM in 2022, who was the Saints, a Saints employee previously, netted the Saints 2 compensatory third-round picks. And Rich McKay, who was the team president and CEO as of 2022, was involved in the football operation. So essentially, right now, Matt Ryan is saying, I'm not involved in any of this. But it doesn't mean that at no point could he be involved. And to me, like, it just doesn't make sense that we're sitting here having this conversation about Ian Cunningham not netting 2 third-round picks for the Chicago Bears. One, listen, I still wouldn't have gone about the blocking route, right? Like, I don't think that's the way that you do business. I think you're going to catch a lot more flies with honey than vinegar. And so letting Ian Cunningham go creates a great relationship for you with the Atlanta Falcons and gives you that opportunity to have some back and forth there, maybe even to net some picks via trade for some pieces there. But bottom line is this: the rule explicitly says if you develop the person who is going to be the primary football operations guy, I don't care what the title is, right? Because titles get thrown around. And this is Atlanta's way of kind of circumventing this. I see the game that they're playing because they gave up the compensatory picks before. So they don't want to go through all that process again, I guess. I don't even know. It doesn't really affect them in any way. But essentially, because you gave up those picks, you're now changing the title of what Matt Ryan does, even though Matt Ryan is explicitly saying, I am not the guy that is doing this. This is Ian Cunningham's show. When you hear that, I don't know how you think anything else but that the Bears should be getting 2 third-round compensatory picks. And this comes to the NFL. Either fix the rule, change the rule, or make it so that anybody who gets a job, because this is not a lateral movement. Ian Cunningham is officially a GM in the NFL. This is not a lateral move. This is a pay raise. This is a new title. This is I'm building the team position. So now the NFL needs to get its stuff together and clarify this. And listen, there's been a ton of issues with the Rooney Rule overall. Essentially, it feels like at times with black coaches and black GMs and black presidents and yada, 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 you just see teams kind of go through the process and say, all right, let's throw a black guy in the mix or a person of color, I guess I should say, because it's not just black folks. Let's throw a person of color in the mix so that we can make sure that we're in compliance with the rule, even though we're never giving this guy a chance at this job in a real world, right? I think there's a ton of issues that do happen with the Rooney Rule, but overall, you do see the people of color in front offices, the number of those people going up, right? You're starting to see that more around the NFL. You're starting to see that process build. And so you feel like there is some parts of it that work, but this is literally how the NFL explains it, how the NFL expresses it. This is exactly what you said the Chicago Bears should be receiving 2 third-round picks for, and yet you've somehow found a way to not offer that because of what? Different language? Like, if we're going to start doing loopholes here, what's going to happen is the rest of the NFL is going to take this mindset. The rest of the NFL is going to say, well, we don't want to give another team an advantage there where they're getting compensatory picks in the NFC, even though we just hired their GM or even though we just took their coach. So we'll just give them a different title, because apparently words matter so much in this situation when when people usually seem to not want words to matter at all. Words matter so much in this situation that the Chicago Bears are getting screwed out of pieces that could potentially help the team. Now, bottom line, I said this when it happened. I said this when everybody was losing their mind about it initially. I think you're in a better situation having the relationship than having the compensatory picks, but it doesn't mean that we don't need to look at the NFL and say, why are you screwing this up? How is this so confusing to you that Ian Cunningham clearly has a promotion? You're going to recognize him as a GM. You're not going to recognize him as not the primary football executive. He's going to get the praise for making the picks. He's going to get the praise and the adulation for going out there and building a team that's going to be competitive, or he's going to get the consequences and the curses for going out there and building a team that doesn't have very much success. It's pretty clear. I would say this is the most, for lack of a better term, black and white situation that you could be in. And so to me, this is one where the NFL has to go through, has to look through the books, has to adjust whatever the language is that's blocking this situation, because I don't think this is something that you look at and just say, oh, well, Pat, you're just whining about it because it's the Bears. No, this is going to create a problem around the NFL. You just gave them the biggest loophole that they could have. No team in the league wants to give another team more bites at the apple to go find a good player. No team in the league wants to give another team a competitive advantage for developing a piece that they get from it. And so bottom line, if you don't fix this, you're going to see massive amounts of teams around the league that are in this situation, whether it's via head coach, whether it's via GM, whether it's via president of football operation, where they're going to go, oh, well, he's not the primary football executive here. He's helping X, Y, and Z to get us to this point. But he's not the main guy making the decisions, when after all, he probably is going to be the main guy making decisions. At the end of the day, let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well. Do you think this is going to be a bigger problem for the NFL moving forward? Or do you think this is just a one-off situation and the Chicago Bears get screwed over, but it is what it is? You're going to be fine. Let me know, like I said, how you guys feel in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bed down. One love. Peace.